everyone. This is Casey. AI radio is starting now.
I'm Haru. Thanks for tuning in. We've got some heavy news today, don't we?
That's right. An AI called Grok, developed by Elon Musk's CE company, has caused a massive problem.
Grok, I've heard of it. What kind of problem are we talking about?
This is pretty shocking, but Grok's image editing feature was used to mass-produce non-consensual sexual deepfake image.
Wait, deepfakes are those face-swapping things, right?
Exactly. And the scale is insane. According to content analysis firm CopyLeaks, at peak times, there were about 6,700 images per hour.
6,700 images per hour?
That's roughly one non-consensual sexual image being created every minute.
One per minute. That's beyond imagination. What kind of images were being created exactly?
It's called nudification, taking photos of women and removing their clothes to make them appear naked.
That's completely criminal, isn't it?
And the worst part is that minors were victimized too.
Minors were caught up in this?
According to Axios reporting, sexual images were even generated of a 14-year-old actress from the Netflix show Stranger Things.
14 years old? That's absolutely unacceptable.
Grok itself apparently acknowledged cases that could violate ethical standards and thus child pornography laws.
If the AI itself recognizes it's illegal, why couldn't they stop it?
That's exactly the core of the problem. There were virtually no safety measures in place.
No safety measures? What does that mean? Don't they usually have filters?
Other AI services like OpenAI's DALL-E have strict filters in place.
What kind of measures does DALL-E have?
First, they filter to prevent generating sexual content, add watermarks to generated images, and automatically reject images of public figures.
I see. Multiple layers of safety measures. What about Midjourney?
Midjourney has a policy for users 13 and older, and combines AI moderation with community monitoring.
So Grok was the only one without measure?
That's right. Elon Musk deliberately kept safety features to a minimum with his concept of uncensored AI doing.
Uncensored AI sounds good, but this shows how dangerous it can be.
Grok 2 debuted in August 2025, and experts were warning about it from that point.
So people were saying it was dangerous from the start?
Security experts said that allowing users to modify uploaded images was a recipe for non-consensual intimate images.
So it could have been prevented, but they didn't take action?
Historically, nudification has been the main use of such features.
Meaning the abuse was completely predictable.
Plus, Grok didn't even have tags or watermarks to indicate that generated images were AI created.
Then you can't tell them apart from real photos.
Exactly! So when generated images were posted on X, they spread with anyone knowing whether they were real or not.
That made it easy for the harm to spread.
The problem became public in late December 2025, when multiple security researchers and journalists started reporting it.
And that's when it became a global scandal.
Rolling Stone magazine called it mass digital undressing.
Wow, that's quite the description.
It's being called one of the worst AI safety disasters in tech history.
So it was that serious. How did Elon Musk respond?
This is another problem. At first he claimed he wasn't aware of Grok generating nude images of minors, saying it was literally zero.
Zero. He denied it despite evidence.
And he blamed user requests and possible bugs for the problem.
That's just shifting responsibility.
When media outlets requested comments, he reportedly sent an automated reply saying, "Legacy media lied."
That's the worst possible response.
This attitude only intensified the criticism.
So what measures did they eventually take?
On January 9, 2026, they finally restricted image generation to paid subscribers, only the Premium Plus plan at $16 per month or higher.
To prevent abuse by free users? But paid users can still use it, right?
That's right. Abuse by paid users was still possible.
That's not really a fundamental solution.
On January 14, They added technical measures to prevent editing real people into bikinis or underwear.
Finally, some proper measures.
However, on January 19th, the European nonprofit AI Forensics analyzed 2,000 user conversations.
What did they find?
The vast majority depicted nudity or sexual activity, showing the measures were still inadequate.
It continued even after the measures. That's terrible.
Let's look more closely at the technical issue. Grok's edit image feature allowed users to upload and modify any image from Xdop.
Other companies do that too, right? What was different?
There were 4 critical differences. First, pre-screen of uploaded images barely functioned.
So images of minors were processed, as is?
Yes. Second, prompt filtering was extremely lax, allowing requests like remove clothes or make nude to go.
Those requests should be instantly blocked.
They're routinely blocked by other services. Third, as I mentioned, generated images had no metadata or watermarks indicating they were AI created.
So they spread without anyone being able to tell they were fake.
Fourth, post-generation content moderation was also inadequate, delaying removal of harmful images posted on X.
Everything was full of holes.
The CEO of Musavi AI criticized XAEA for failing to build even entry-level trust and safety layer.
Entry level means the most basic stuff, right?
Right. They said Musk dismissed as censorship the safety measures other companies spent years building, and this was the result.
That's harsh criticism, but probably deserved.
Looking more closely at the scale of harm, Internet Watch Foundation data shows AI-generated child sexual abuse images increased 400% in the first half of 2025, compared to the previous year.
400% increase? That's quadrupled.
The Grok problem likely accelerated this trend even further.
So
AI technology abuse is spreading rapidly.
Victims ranged from celebrities to ordinary citizens. And on January 15, Ashley St. Clair, the mother of one of Elon Musk's children, sued Seed.
Even someone close to Musk was victimized?
According to NBC News, St. Clair claims deepfake images of her childhood bikini photos and adult sexual poses were created and spread.
So even someone with a personal connection to Musk couldn't prevent being victimized.
That symbolizes the severity of this problem.
Anyone could become a victim.
Now let's look at how regulators in various countries responded. First, the EU, the European Union.
Europe has a reputation for being strict about data protection.
The European Commission condemned this issue with unusually strong language, calling it appalling and disgusting.
Using such strong words in an official statement is rare.
They launched a formal investigation under the Digital Services Act, ZSA, and on January 8 ordered X to preserve all internal documents and Grok-related data through the end of 2026.
To prevent them from destroying evidence. What about penalties?
According to EU Commissioner Hanna Virkunen for Tech Sovereignty, failure to implement effective measures could result in fines of up to 6% of global revenue or temporary platform suspension.
How much would 6% be?
X's estimated annual revenue is about $5 billion, so that's potentially $300 in fines, about 45 billion yen.
45 billion yen? That's massive.
Additionally, the Paris prosecutor's office in France launched its own criminal investigation. In France, creating and distributing non-consensual sexual images is a criminal offense.
So they're being pursued criminally, not just civilly.
Next is the UK. Communications regulator Ofcom launched a formal investigation on January 12.
What are the UK penalties?
Under the the Online Safety Act, passed in 2023, violators can be fined up to 10% of global revenue, stricter than the UO.
10% would be $500 million, about 75 billion yen.
More notably, the UK government announced it would criminalize the creation of non-consensual deepfake.
Making the creation itself a crime?
And they indicated they would apply this to companies supplying notification tools.
So tool providers would also be punished.
According to Time magazine, the UK Home Office stated that supplying AI notification apps would itself be illegal.
That's groundbreaking regulation.
It's a new approach holding providers accountable, not just for hosting content, but for providing tools that can create harmful content.
The concept of platform responsibility is expanding.
Next is India. The Ministry of Electronics, and it issued a notice to X on January 3rd, demanding action within 72 hours.
72 hours is pretty short.
They ordered a comprehensive technical, procedural, and governance level review of Grok, warning of the risk of losing safe harbor protection for non-compliant.
What's safe harbor protection?
It's legal protection that exempts platforms from liability for user-posted content. Losing it means being directly liable for all content users post.
That would make operating in India virtually impossible.
India is a major market for X, with about 25 million monthly active users.
The risk of losing a 25 million user market is huge.
And Malaysia and Indonesia took the most aggressive action.
What did they do?
They became the first in the world to completely block access to Grok, starting January 12th.
Access itself became impossible. That's a serious measure.
The Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission explained it was an emergency measure.
Treating it as an emergency.
Finally, in the U.S., California Attorney General Rob wants to launch the first Grok investigation by a U.S. government agency.
DI's headquarters is in California, right?
Yes, so the state's legal jurisdiction is clear, and they've sent cease and desist order.
So they're being pursued in their home country too.
Alright, let's take a break with some music. Today's song is Slow Loading Software.
Slow loading software? That's an unusual title. Is it about computer programs that take forever to start?
Exactly that. We've had some heavy news, so let's lighten the mood. Here's Slow Loading Software.
発車してからの起動時間約つむ台今日のはもう始まってます Yeah Yeah 電源のロゴ表示黒画面うっすら流れる準備しています新聞テイクまだ準備中お前寝起きの気象学生か遅いけど壊れてはないって言われた時のセスポースプラス軌道が遅い朝から魂ついつけてお先に失礼しますが先に来たそれだけが元気にくるくる踊ってる今日もマウスよりメーカーが動くエクセル焼いたと思ったらフリーズマクロ警告ですってお前誰やねん親友社員の PC だけなぜか爆速車歴とスペックが逆比例する地獄
Now let's see how experts view this problem.
I'm curious about expert opinions.
AI safety experts describe the Grok problem as a predictable disaster.
Predictable means it should have been preventable.
According to a report from the Stern Business and Human Rights Center, the risk of AI, with image editing features being abused to generate non-consensual sexual images, was widely recognized in the industry.
It was common knowledge in the industry?
Say, ignoring this risk is described as deliberate safety negligence.
We didn't know isn't an excuse.
A tech policy press analyst says the Grok problem shows not just content moderation failure, but a lack of ethical consideration at the product design stage.
The problem was there from the design phase.
The EU AI Act requires safety by design, but Grok took the exact opposite approach.
They deliberately went the opposite direction.
Legal experts have even harsher criticism. Bloomberg reports that multiple legal experts point out CA may be violating us child sexual abuse imagery laws.
They might be violating us federal law.
Under federal law, companies involved in creating or distributing child sexual abuse imagery could face criminal charge.
The company itself could face criminal liability.
Victim support organizations have also raised strong concern. The director of the UK's revenge porn helpline said,
What did they say?
Victims of AI deepfakes experience the same trauma as victims of traditional non-consensual images. The fact that images are real doesn't reduce victims' suffering.
Being fake doesn't mean it doesn't hurt.
Exactly. The mere existence of sexual images using your face is deeply traumatic for victims.
The psychological damage is no different from real images.
The head of research at Internet Watch Foundation also warns that AI-generated child sexual abuse images increased 400% just in the first half of 2025, and services lacking safety measures like Grok are accelerating this crisis.
AI development is enabling more of these crimes.
The balance between technological progress and ethics is being questioned.
The whole industry needs to think about this.
Irish Times analysis points out that the Grok problem highlights the need for an international AI regulatory framework.
Having different rules in each country isn't enough.
Even if you evade one country's regulations, globally operating services still violate other countries' laws. Setting international minimum standards is urgent.
We need global rules.
Let's look at future prospects. First, the impact of the UAI Act.
Is the EU AI Act already in effect?
Transparency obligations, particularly rules on deepfakes and AI-generated content, are scheduled to apply from August 2026.
About 6 months from now, what specifically will happen?
Marking AI-generated content in machine-readable format will be mandatory, meaning you'll automatically know if an image was created by AI.
So watermarks will be required?
Yes! The European Commission has already published a draft code of practice for identifying deepfakes with an UI icon.
The Grok problem proved why this regulation is necessary.
Exactly! The Grok problem became a perfect case study for those pushing regulation.
Will there be other changes?
The UK's introduction of tool provider liability is particularly noteworthy. Algorithm is starting to be questioned not just for hosting content, but for providing the tools that can create harmful content.
So not just platforms, but companies making the tools are responsible too.
If this concept takes hold, AI developers will be legally required to build safety measures in from the product design stage.
Retrofitting won't cut it.
Grok is the textbook example of trying to retrofit safety measures and fail.
If they designed it properly from the start, this wouldn't have happened.
The impact on the entire AI industry is huge. Grok's unfiltered creative freedom approach ended in catastrophic failure, reaffirming that ethical consideration in AI development is indispensable.
Uncensored AI sounded good, but ultimately didn't work.
It's become clear this approach is unsustainable in highly regulated markets.
Failed as a differentiation strategy.
The industry as a whole is being asked again how to balance innovation and safety.
You can't pursue freedom at the expense of safety.
Major players like OpenAI, Google, and Meta invest heavily in safety measures.
But there's always a risk of new entrants skipping that investment.
That's the issue. There's always a risk of a race to the bottom where companies see safety investment as a competitive disadvantage and skip.
The Grok problem became a lesson showing where that leads.
Exactly. Cutting corners on safety ultimately costs more through massive fines and market exclusion.
Investing in safety is better in the end.
Canada's Privacy Commissioner, Australia's Safety Commissioner, Brazil's Data Protection Authority, and Ireland's Data Protection Commission have also launched investigations or demanded explanations.
It really is a global issue.
Responses to the Grok problem will likely become a turning point determining the direction of future AI regulation.
This could be a historic incident.
Let's summarize today's news. The Grok problem became a case study showing the catastrophic results of lacking ethical consideration in AI development.
At peak times, one non-consensual sexual image was generated per minute, creating many victims, including minors.
It will be recorded as one of the worst AI safety disasters in tech history.
Regulatory action was extensive.
The EU, UK, India, and California launched investigations, while Malaysia and Indonesia blocked access. Responses are progressing worldwide.
SAI's response was slow.
They belatedly implemented feature restrictions and technical measures, but experts say it's still inadequate.
What should we learn from this?
The most important lesson is that the ideal of uncensored AI is socially unacceptable without proper safety measures.
Balance between freedom and safety is key.
With EU AI Act implementation,
We're entering an era where AI companies must consider safety from the start.
we've entered an era requiring safety measures built in from the product design stage.
Doing it later is too late.
The Grok problem highlighted the fundamental challenge facing the entire AI industry, balancing innovation and safety.
Ethical considerations must evolve alongside technological development.
Going forward, each country's response to this problem will shape international AI regulatory standards.
It's important for us users to be aware of these issues too.
That's right. We need to understand the risks behind AI's convenience and use it appropriately.
Today's news was heavy but very educational.
Well, that's all for today's AI Radio. Thanks for listening to the end.
It was a serious topic, but important to know about. See you next time.
Until next time, everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Bonjour.